This is going to be a short video, a bunch of short clips I should say, on a 96 Nissan pick-em-up truck. And I couldn't find any videos on how to do the fuel pump without either dropping the tank or putting a hole in my bed. Of course, my bed's dirty, so I didn't want to put a hole in my bed. And of course, the fuel tank is way back there, the pump. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack it up. I already tried it, didn't experiment. Of course, my truck is dirty, it's old, it's got dents, it's got scrapes. Compliments of other people. So I came up with this idea. I got a tractor jack. So if you got this type of jack or a regular jack similar to this style, and get it up high enough off the ground so that we can lift up the bed, I unbolted there's 4 bolts under there, and I got to get on my back so that I can see what the heck I'm shooting at. I already took the bolts off. There's 4 of them. One there, one back there, one over there in the same location, and one in the rear in the same location. The whole bed just disconnects. So once I get her jacked up, I'll turn on the video again and show you what I'm doing. And first, you got to unscrew the 3 screws that hold in the filler, and that disconnects, and the entire bed will lift up on this one side. I was going to use a pulley up on that tree to lift up the entire bed, and I realized, wow, all I got to do is tilt this one side. So here we go. And voila, that took me a grand total of 5 minutes. Once I got this disconnected from in here, because these are so old, the truck's got about 200,000 on it. These were all so old and stiff. This wasn't even up on the where it connects to these. They slid right out. So I'm going to replace all of these hoses, and this neck here, it's not in too good a shape. And of course, these hoses here, I'm going to replace all of those. I know there's leakage down here. I put some leak detector, and when you shine a ultraviolet light on it, I was down pretty close to empty. I found some leaks up in the engine compartment, got them resolved, and there was some leaks down here. And of course, if I'm not cutting myself, that means I stayed in bed all day. People say, well, why don't you wear gloves? I just can't get the feel of gloves. I can't feel what I'm doing. I really don't like them. So I'll clean all this off and start the video back up on the next go around. Alrighty. I took a spray bottle with some Dawn dishwashing liquid, and to degrease everything, hosed it all off around all the hoses that I'm going to be replacing, and got everything pretty clean. And I'm going to measure all my hoses, measure that, and get all the right size hoses that I need. And because I'll be dropping the bed back down, connecting everything again so I can get all the right size hoses. I could not access these hoses with this bed down. So since it's only going to take me a grand total of 10 minutes, hook everything back up, drop the bed back down, and I'm not even going to bother to bolt it because I'm just going down the road and this bed ain't gonna come off. It's too heavy to lift up. So anyhow, once I get that out, I can get my whole head in here, my whole body. I got plenty of room between the bottom of the bed and my fuel pump. The reason I'm changing it is because I lose power. I'm getting lousy gas mileage. So I have a feeling this is the problem. I already changed out the regulator for this up front in the engine compartment, the relay, and that didn't do any good. I have a feeling the screen that's inside is probably clogged, so starving the engine, so then my electronics are going all haywire because it's getting bad readings. So we'll see what happens, buddy. Alrighty, let's see how it goes next go around. I'm back at it again. I gotta make sure I get rid of all the fuel pressure. So I'm gonna take out the fuel pump fuse, which is this one right here. And I'll start up the truck until it quits running. And yes, it needs a good cleaning. Alrighty. I got all the screws out. After I relieved the pressure, took out the fuse inside the truck, and now I got it unplugged, and I'm ready to pull her out. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Let me let all the gas come out of it. Well, I guess I can't do it one-handed because I got to unplug that one gizmo there. Alrighty, I got the old one out and the new one in. Got the power hooked up. Got the old gas lines out and fixing to put the new gas lines in, and I'll be replacing all of these lines too. These are the returns, and they're all brittle and cracked, and this filler line has a big old kink right there, and this filler line is hard as a rock. So that explains why every time I would gas up, the gas would back up and shut off the gas handle. So I'd have to pump really slow. So once I get that replaced, hopefully I can pump quick again. Alrighty, just keep on going. So far, between jacking it up, I got 5 minutes. Between taking that off, 5 minutes. Between getting the new one back on, 5 minutes. So far, I got 15 minutes involved. Easy peasy. Alrighty now. Got my gas lines back in. Nice and tight. Shouldn't be any more leaks. Everything's plugged in. Got my emission return lines all back in. Everything's nice and tight. And I'm about to fire this bad baby up, give her a run, and see how she does. Alright, I don't know why they had these on here. I guess maybe to protect the hoses from rubbing on this. The old ones I couldn't put back on. They were brittle and hard as a rock. Now this line is nice and pliable. So this sucker wasn't cheap. 24 bucks just for 16 inches. Holy crap. Alright, anyhow, and all these lines were expensive, and these buggers here, these were high pressure. They say it's 60 pounds per square inch this pump is putting out. So every single one of these lines was brittle, cracked, stiff. So alright, I'll see how she does in a few minutes. Alrighty, time for the test. Sounds good. It did run before. Actually didn't run that bad, but it kept lugging down and I kept losing power, and then it would come back up again. So I'm about to take it out on the road and see how it does. Well, I'm out on the road. It's warmed up. Let's see how she does. Not bad at all. I'm a happy camper. Now the test is going to be if it lugs down on me like it had been in the past. I guess time will tell. I gotta, usually after I drive about, I don't know, 5 or 10 miles, it'll lug. But it sure seems to have good power. Good deal. Mission accomplished.